Here are 3 ways to stay consistent with your manifestation practices so you can get what you want. But first, my name's Hannah Love. I'm your favorite manifestation coach and content creator. I make manifesting simple because it is simple, and I am here to help you get what you want in life because that's why you came to this planet, to get what you want. I offer different coaching services. I have an Etsy shop where I sell digital art prints, and I have affirmation audio tracks that you can listen to program your mind and speed up your manifestation process. If you want more information about those, it's either at the link in my bio or in the caption below, depending on where you're watching this, because I post daily on TikTok and YouTube. So anyways, the first thing that you want to do is integrate into your self-concept, aka your identity, that you are a consistent, committed type of person. Okay, because whatever you integrate into your identity and whatever story you tell yourself, more often than not, becomes a part of who you are. I'm going to give you an example of this. So for years, before I became a gym rat, which was like back in 2017, I never saw myself as someone who was consistent or committed. That wasn't really even in my vocabulary. I didn't even really think about that. I just didn't think that that was a part of who I was. I used to kind of think I was more of a lazy person, even though I had all these abilities and talents to do different things. I just didn't see myself as someone who could stick to doing something long enough. So being consistent, being committed, being disciplined was never even a thought or an idea of or a part of who I was growing up. When I decided to manifest my dream body, it was me first changing my self-concept and identifying with someone who loves fitness. And so then I had to ask myself, well, if I love fitness, if I'm working out a lot, then how does this person show up? Oh, well, this person is most likely a gym rat. They're very, very athletic. They're very committed and they're very consistent in the gym. So I just kept telling myself, I'm very committed to the gym. I'm very consistent because that is just who I am now. I just decided that's who I was, and I kept telling myself that story, and I bought into that story. And because I kept buying into that story, and then I was taking action from that place of being a consistent person in the gym, it naturally just became a part of who I was. So it's not really something that once you start telling yourself, I'm just a consistent, committed, disciplined person, it just becomes a part of who you are naturally after you keep telling yourself the new story, and then it keeps manifesting over and over and over again in your life. And then you don't really have to tell yourself that story because it just becomes a part of who you are. So you don't really think about it anymore. It's just something that you do on autopilot, right? And this is going to be with anything that you manifest. The more that you keep telling yourself a new story, your actions will eventually start to reflect that story, and you're going to start taking action from that new identity, and you're going to start getting results the more consistently that you practice being that new identity. And then because you get results, it's going to start building a belief within you, and then it's going to become a dominant assumption because you have created enough evidence in the 3D that this is just a part of who you are. And that could be with anything that you're trying to manifest. Tip number 2 is get out your phone, open your notes app, whatever that is, and create a list of all of the things that you want to manifest. Write down things that you know are easy for you to manifest and things that feel like, oh, this does feel a little harder. It does feel like this thing I have more resistance around, or it feels like it might take a long time. It doesn't matter. Write all of those down. And each and every time that you manifest something, you want to add to that list. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a phone call from a friend that you haven't talked to in ages, and you've been affirming to yourself, I have the best friends ever, okay? Or you're trying to manifest an SP and then that person calls you. Okay, write it all down, because what this is going to do is the more that you track all of the things that you manifest, you're going to start building more belief because you're seeing evidence in the 3D that what you're doing is working. This isn't me saying, though, that what you're doing isn't working, because manifestation is always working, okay? And at the same time, the more that you do practices like this, where you're seeing the evidence in your 3D, you're just going to start building more confidence and more belief in your ability to manifest. So then the things that you feel like, oh, like this thing that used to be hard for me to manifest, it's actually normal and easy for me to have now. Because if you think about it now, if you look back in your past, there are things that you have manifested that your future present self right now used to think was hard for you to manifest. Think about one thing, okay, that you have now that you didn't think you could have had in the past, or that didn't used to be normal for you. It's normal for you now because you made it normal, okay? So, with that being said, keep the list and write everything down. I don't care what it is. Keep track of that list and continue every time you look at that list. I want you to affirm to yourself, everything I do to manifest works, or something along the lines of that, or no matter what I want to manifest, it happens for me easily and effortlessly. I am a master manifester. Something that insinuates that what you're doing is working. I breathe and I manifest what I want. It's that easy for me. So pick an affirmation that works best for you and just keep affirming that to yourself while you're adding these things to the list. So tip number 3, if you're still having a hard time building your belief and confidence in conscious manifestation, I want you to only follow and subscribe to people that have what you want and who have actual evidence just of who they are being and how they're living their lives, that what you want is possible. Because when you see this, you're going to start to see like, oh, like all these other people that are practicing manifestation or law of assumption, they're manifesting these things through these different ways or just by who they are being. So obviously, if millions of other people are doing it, duh, I can do it too. Now, if you feel like by looking at other people, seeing them have the things that you want, if that is too triggering for you and you start to compare yourself, you start to get jealous, that is something that I still feel like you should look at, and you shouldn't avoid that. Because if you're always getting jealous or comparing yourself to other people, that's something within your self-concept that you should definitely shift and just start realizing that seeing other people having what you want is just evidence that your manifestation is close by, so you're not getting triggered by things like that, because that's not a good way to live, right? You want to continue to succeed, you want your life to continue to get better, and obviously you want to get to a point where other people around you, like your friends and your family and your clients, if you have a business, are doing well, and you celebrating with them without comparison or jealousy. Because why would you want to live that way anyway? You feel me? Otherwise, what you can do is just look up success stories. Just type in law of assumption or manifestation success stories. And then if you want to get specific, like let's say you're trying to manifest making money fast, you can look up making money fast success stories. Or if you want to manifest an SP, manifest commitment with SP success stories. So then you're seeing, okay, this is what other people are doing. This is possible for me. If they can do it, I can do it too. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Let me know in the comments below.